Andre was a little boy, he was about 10, I told him. I said, he went to an integrated school, and I said, Andre, you don't see people's color, you see people's heart. And he grew up to see people's spirit and soul. He was just a wonderful kid.
Growing up, my sister and I, we were a little older than him, so he was just this little boy that was always in the way, always in the way. We would always pick him up here and there. If he was in the way, pick him up, carry him around the house and stuff like that. But he was always telling Mom when we did something. You know what I'm saying? Our sister and I, we hated him for that. You know what I'm saying? Because when they were gone, and he would tell on us.
This is Andre as a young boy. Andre didn't believe in violence from a little boy. When he was in 5th grade, he called me at the house and told me, Mommy, you need to come over here. I said, what's going on, Andre? Come over. I went over there and he told me, a boy tried to fight me, and I told the teacher told me, what's the matter? Your mother didn't teach you how to fight? So I called for the principal, and I told the principal, you tell that woman, no, I don't teach my boy how to fight. He's not going to fight nobody. Andre didn't believe in violence, but he knew how to stand up for himself, because I encouraged him and tried to teach him how to stand up for himself. That's how caring he was. He was going to take up for somebody. I feel his spirit with me. When I pass on, I hope to see Andre.
I got one story for you. I didn't want him to come to New York. We had a big little, I wouldn't say it was an argument, we had a little back and forth. It was like in front of my dad's house after midnight. And nobody else knew about it, but I was telling him, dude, what are you doing? You don't want to go to New York. Why do you want to go to New York? And I guess that was our way of keeping him close. And he listened to me, and he proceeded to thank me for expressing to him how I didn't want him to go. And he proceeded to tell me why he felt like he was going to go. And I felt like he just kind of cut me up, chopped me up, but that was part of his growing process. And I remember driving home telling myself, he's coming back. It's not gonna last. Years later, around 2009 or whatever, I came up here. He had his own little apartment in Brooklyn. I stayed with him for a few days. And the first thing that struck me was how comfortable he felt in his own little space. It really struck me. And I kind of felt like the little brother, because I'm saying to myself, there's no way I would be able to maintain and hang here in New York. There's no way. I admired him so much for having the courage to live in a city like this. And it was just beautiful just to see that. And I remember saying to myself, man, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Andre put his flag up here and just let everybody know, hey, I'm here and I'm Andre. I'm really proud that he made such an impact on people, and that really made me feel really proud. Just glad to have known him, and I'm never gonna forget him.
So when I was 17 and still a closeted youth in Houston, Texas, what I wanted more than anything was to be able to go to one of the Hatch meetings. Hatch being the Houston area teen coalition for homosexuals. The Hatch prom was where I met Andre. And we were on the dance floor, and he said hi to me and asked me if I wanted to dance, and I said sure. And that was an incredible moment, because I met Andre exactly where so many other people see him shine. It was like, on a dance floor, celebrating, living and expressing himself And that was the start of our friendship that led to so many transformative pieces of my life. And I owe Andre so much. His bravery always was such a attracting force, but it was always surrounded by so much love and affection. And yeah, I think I'm just so blessed to have been lucky enough to been supported to be taken to this queer youth group, and in the process connected with a beautiful soul.
I knew Andre through political activist work, attending forums around LGBT rights, particularly as they relate to people of color, anti-police brutality fights, as well as his playwright work. Essentially, it was always in the spirit of the fight for social justice. And frankly, that'll be the thing that will stay with me personally, and that I believe will stay with everyone.
From community justice events to socially engaged theater, Andre introduced me to a world of socially engaged art making in New York City centered around justice and beauty, aimed at ushering in a new world. The work was intense. There were disagreements, arguments, and also reconciliations and parties, and love underneath it all. For Andre, artivism was a way of life.
I just think Andre was an amazing talent as a playwright, as a director, and I look at some of the people who kind of emerged out of Freedom Train Productions, people, you know, who are writing for major television shows now, who started out in his playwright development workshop.
I slowly realized that there was a place for stories like mine, problems like mine, people just like me, like us. Because these stories, our lives, are necessary and urgent. We are, all of us, essential. And that's how I found my way to community, to kindred spirits, chosen family. And when all of your passion manifested in Freedom Train, that's where I found my truest, purest voice. For that, I'm forever grateful.
It was in spring of 2000, my freshman year at the University of Texas at Austin, I joined Drive-By Players, the university's theater company of color, where I met Andre. And from there, an 18-year friendship of creating, performing, and exploring, and cheering flourished. We called ourselves the Texas Runaways, University of Texas X's who moved to NYC. When I first moved to the city, I only knew two people, Andre and Yalini. That's all I knew. I slept on both of their couches as I got acclimated with the city. Their friends became my friends. My first performance as an actor in New York City was Andre's Descendants of Freedom. Andre's style of writing was explorative, evoking, and revolutionary. It was truly before its time. From our years at UT to NYC, I'm honored that he entrusted me as an actor to bring his work to life.
The loudest part of Andre's essence that he pounded into my heart the years before he left this world was his integrity. The greatest blessing of journeying with Andre during the harder times as well as the fun times was witnessing the depth and strength of his spiritual willpower and love in the face of great adversity. Who I am today, my personality, politics, art, how and why I love the ways I do. My essence is shaped and whittled by the love I had the honor to experience with André Alexander Lancaster.
Andre was truly my buddy. I didn't have any blood family here in NYC. Andre became my family. We lived together. We created together. We performed together. We grew up together. We discovered who we were and what we wanted to be together. He has left a forever imprint on my heart, and although I am just left with his memories, I feel immensely blessed to be one of the ones who have them.
Lord, I done what you told me to do.